Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic that that we will see some movement with the reopening of borders and leisure travel lanes, particularly in Asia Pacific, where we really haven't had any movement now, despite a lot of countries being relatively doing a good job in containing the virus. So we've seen a partial reopening in the Middle East. Dubai is fairly open. We're seeing an opening in Africa now, like South Africa is about to open in a couple of days. We saw Europe opening in the last couple of months as well in terms of international travel. And I think governments, it's a very difficult situation because they have to negotiate with everyone else, and everybody's kind of in a different position in terms of where they are with the virus, as well as where they are in their comfort level of opening up borders. But I think we're going to start to see some movement and testing and new technologies. I think help facilitate that. And we could see some examples like Australia, New Zealand finally talking again after several months of not talking. They were one of the first ones that came up as a possible travel bubble way back in April. Then obviously nothing happened for several months, but now all of a sudden they're talking again. And there's a lot of examples in Singapore as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk on that trans-Tasman bubble, Australia, New Zealand, that it could be up and running by the end of this year. What do you think about that time frame?
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's just a matter of these governments, getting over these issues and recognizing the value of aviation and tourism and the fact that you can restart this safely. I mean, it's been very frustrating, some of these setbacks that have happened, in some cases, despite relatively decent containment efforts. So the bubbles, can happen, and they should have happened by now in Asia Pacific. They've happened in other regions, but they just haven't because the governments have and the politics have kind of come in the way. And of course, in Australia, you have the internal state border issue, which is really disappointing. I mean, the domestic market in Australia is down still like 85 to 90% when it really should be down like 50%. But you have all these domestic issues that hopefully will be resolved, as well as the Tasman bubble finally opening up, and that will provide a glimmer of hope for the airlines in Australia and New Zealand, and potentially the Pacific as well, if that's expanded to places like Fiji and Samoa.